So here's the conventional wisdom. I'm sure you've heard it before. As a guy, your dating value goes up, right? During your 20s, your 30s, even sometimes into your 40s. So what you should do is work on yourself. Make some money, look better, groom well, dress well, get some charisma, get some confidence, blah, blah, blah. And then, when you're at the almighty peak, cash your chips in and you can get the hottest girl possible. The bit about your market value going up, yeah, this is true, absolutely true. But the one thing that none of these clowns are telling you is that the wifeable girls won't be there for you. They got married already. You can be 38 and have a whole lot of kind of thotty 28, 30-year-olds hanging around. That's cool. Are you going to marry these girls? These girls have already had 10 years or maybe more of adulthood, and they've not chosen to get married. They've not chosen to have kids. It's not a high priority for them. Girls who are serious about family and having children, what I've noticed is that they get swept up really young. Like typically, they'd get together with their to-be husband somewhere between 15 and 22. So that's kind of your window. If you want to meet a girl who's really family orientated, who's actually a 10 out of 10 wife, right? Not like a 10 out of 10 looks or something like this that will just run out after some time or get boring after some time. I'm talking about the holistic person who can be a high quality wife. There's no 10 out of 10 wives left when you're searching, when you're in your late 30s or early 40s. They don't exist, they're gone, mate, they're married. There will be many hot women left, but they're not really marriable. There will be exceptions. There are exceptions, but these exceptions are rarer and rarer the older that she gets. Some people might say, well, look at the divorce rates. Like, you need to get married maybe in your mid or later 20s. These have the best outcomes. Of course, the girl's 19, she meets her boyfriend, 22. They get married when she's, say, 25. That's how it works. So my advice to you would be to find a youngish wife, and to find a youngish wife, you'll need to also be pretty young yourself. You can still build yourself up, you can still become a better man, all this kind of stuff. You do it with the 10 out of 10 wife that you've already got, right? Rather than trying to chase a 10 out of 10 face or 10 out of 10 ass later on. So this happened yesterday. I met two girls here within about 20 minutes of each other, and they were exact opposites and perfect examples of what I'm talking about now. I was standing right here actually filming a video about online dating, etc. And there was this young girl who I thought was around 19. She had a dog and she was kind of walking around with the dog, and she seemed to have no real mission. She's kind of loitering around, and if she was a little bit older, I think, oh, maybe I might even chat to her or whatever. And I was busy filming. I thought, she's probably a bit young. I won't talk to her. She's kind of failed, I guess, my screening. And then she kept loitering, so I'm like, she kind of looks interesting, so I'm going to have a chat to her. So I chatted with her, and it turns out she's 22, and she's already married, right? She was incredibly polite, well-spoken, just really considerate, well-adjusted kind of person. Like, she just oozes the exact kind of woman that you want to marry. So as always, I took this as a data gathering opportunity. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what age did you meet your husband? At 16, when they were in school. Interesting. How many kids do you want to have? And she said minimum 2, right? And then I'm like, okay, what's the maximum? And then, because we were speaking in Russian, so then she kind of got excited, but she did this kind of like big smiley face and like this, so I think she meant a lot, but I couldn't quite get a number in there. But clearly she's pretty open to having quite a lot of children and wants them, right? She wants them. To look at, she was just a normal girl. That's maybe average, slightly above average in terms of appearance. You wouldn't really notice her necessarily, but yeah, she looks decent. Of course, this is just an anecdote, but this just reinforces everything that I'm seeing on this topic at the moment. Now, fast forward about 15 minutes and I'd finished filming, and I walked back to my hotel. As I was walking back to my hotel, I noticed a rather striking woman coming towards me. And she had the strut, and she was a bit more sexualized and more experienced in life. So I stopped her and started chatting with her, and we chatted for about a minute, and she was very bantery. She's trying to be, I think it's called sassy, just kind of like cheesy, over teasy kind of stuff she's saying. It's a bit lame, but anyway, she's trying hard. I can see she's trying to be clever or whatever. So it's okay, fine. Now, it wouldn't have been 2 minutes in to the conversation, and she's like, look, I'm sorry, but I'm going to a meeting now. I'm already running late. Take my number and we can organise something. So I can see that she's quite experienced in this dating thing. It was fun for her. Let's see where it goes, blah, 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 blah. Now, I never learned exactly what age she was, but she was probably let's just say late 20s, maybe 27 to 30, 31 maybe, kind of in that range. And in terms of objective beauty, she was better looking than the younger girl who I'd met like 15 or 20 minutes earlier. But I can see from this girl, yeah, she was fun, she was flirty, she had a lot of charisma. She was really gaming me, to be fair. But she has chosen a path, right? She can attract many high quality men, and she hasn't chosen one. It means she doesn't value family, she doesn't value children, she values work. And indeed, she's actually working in another country and is back here just for holiday, visiting friends and so forth. The problem with this is that what a girl does in her 20s shows you what she's been trained to value. This girl's been trained to value working. Glory is in the production and consumption of goods and services, right? That's how she is. Now, at some stage in her 30s, biology will kick in and try to pull her away from that. And I don't want to be the sucker to marry her thinking she's great, she's beautiful, she's fun, she's so charismatic, she's smart, blah, blah, blah. And then a kid and 2 years later, and she's looking for the divorce courts. Because again, she's shown her cards, right? There's none of this bullshit, oh yeah, I just learned what I really value, or, you know, oh, I just changed. It's like, no, you showed what you value in your 20s. You showed it. You showed that you care about producing and consuming goods and services. Probabilities are, just like she changed her mind and decided she wanted a kid or two and to get married, she'll also change her mind again later. Now, do remember there are exceptions on both sides. Not every young girl is going to be a good wife, obviously. And there will be potentially good wives in their later 20s, even early 30s or later. It is possible. But every year she gets older and decides that she doesn't want to have a family, doesn't want to get married, it just shows you what her priorities are in life. So yes, do increase your SMV, right? Your dating value. Do improve this. That's fine. You can do that. But don't do it at the expense of having a wife and having a family. Do them at the same time, because otherwise you're going to be left on the shelf as well. A little bit of bonus footage for you guys. This is, of course, as you can see on the wing there, a Lavia. And I am about to land at Minsk Airport. Let's say we're about 5 minutes away, maybe less. You can see the forests there and lots of little villages tucked away. Nice green lush land for the most part. It's very green. You can tell it's really springtime. Viesna. Nice little village down there. The airport is, I believe it's kind of north, from memory, northeast of Minsk. Then a bit of a drive inwards. Beautiful scenery. It's funny compared to Australia. Australia is mainly brown dirt. You can do nothing with it all. I would say at least 80% of Australia you just can't do anything with. You can't live there, you can't grow crops there, you can't have livestock. Like, it's really useless. Whereas Belarus is such a green, lush place. You can see the shadow of the plane there. I'll move my finger in the way. Well, when I move my finger, you'll see the shadow of the plane. Obviously, it will focus on my finger. The camera will focus on my finger. It's early in the morning. This was a 5 o'clock flight from Georgia, landing around, it's around 9 o'clock now, or 8:30 in the morning. Beautiful spring morning, look at that. Not sure what that crop is there. You can see it's been, I really don't know what that is. Oh, there's some, so with the leaves, and there are even potatoes actually. I vaguely recall potatoes having yellow plants, but I'm a real rookie at this, so do forgive me. That. Beautiful. Getting really close to landing now. Track train line, and yeah, there you go. We're at the airport now. You can see us. We're getting nice and close. The last few airports I've been to, with the exception of Georgia, have been next to an ocean, which is mildly concerning. but this is right in the middle of land. Welcome to Minsk, Belarus. What he did there. Maybe we were drifting slightly and he yanked us back on. That was a violent pull that you don't usually have. Once you've landed, it's usually very smooth, right? Sometimes they land a bit rough, but yeah, you are landing an aircraft, you kind of expect it, but I don't know what happened then. Halfway down the runway, just a violent yank, but nonetheless, here we are. There it is, the famous Minsk International Airport, the one, the only.